everyone, and welcome to Scrap Saturdays. I hope you're all doing well. This is my third Felicity Jane layout with the Mila kit, and I am loving it. Loving it. Just loving everything about it. And, I'm going to start off right away with reading my journaling so that I can get right into my, Monica mojo. And my tag says, I never want you to feel less than all the love I feel, less than all the magic you hold, less than all the stars, less than the sea and all its wonder. To tell you that I love you is less than. It's shortcoming, not quite enough to describe this huge feeling of. Growing up, I missed out on all the I love yous, the beautiful, amazing you. You need to always remember this love, this feeling, this time when you were everything I ever wanted and yet so much more. Never let anyone or anything make you feel less than, because there is so much love just for you. And this is a photograph of myself and my daughter, Gabriella. And this is the aftermath of the birthday that I spoke about in, the last Felicity Jane kit that I did. And this is the best out of 7 photos that we took, because that was the day that I told you guys about the disrespect that I crossed the line with Gabriella on her birthday, right? The humbling experience of being honest as a parent. And so growing up in my household, I never got I love yous or that you were amazing or anything along the lines of positive reinforcement verbally. My mom, not so much. She was more loving and more gentle, but my dad was very, very verbally abusive. He was very condescending, and there was always this arrogance and this tone of, which now in my later years, I understand, what it's like to be in a household with an alcoholic dad and someone who has control and narcissistic tendencies, right? And that's, so many more layouts to come. Let me tell you, we can talk for hours, of course, while I fussy cut, you see? Good job, Monica. And so I remember when Gabriella was really, really little, and my mom, she was about 1.5, 2 years old, and my sister at the time must have been 18 years old. And so she still lived at home with my parents. And when I used to drop off Gabriella at my parents' house, my parents watched my kids for me. And I used to kiss Gabriella on the mouth, a goodbye kiss. And I remember one day my sister, she's like, Monica, why do you kiss her on the mouth? But in a very confused, not really disgusted, but almost, right? And at that moment, I was so embarrassed because I knew why she was asking. And I knew why it was so different for my sister to see this and to understand that, what was this? Because this form of affection was never expressed. And so I said, I don't know, Lucy, she's my baby. She's mine. Although she's not, but that's how I translated it. She's a gift from God, right? She's the gift of God that came through my body that chose me to be her, mom, and I'm humbled. And I'm thinking, yeah, I so want to kiss her. My sister, in the meantime, was going to school to become an ECE teacher and work with young children at a daycare center. And years later, I remember my sister coming to me and saying, all of the parents that drop off their kids at the daycare do what you do with Gabriella. And I said, yeah, Lucy, that's normal. What we lived in was our normal, but it wasn't. And so my lesson for today, and what I want to tell people, is that towards the end, when my mom was very, very depressed and, we used to talk about stuff, I started saying I love you to my mom on the phone maybe 2-3 years ago. I used to say, I love you, Mom. And the first 20 times, my mom never said, I love you back. She didn't know how. She was like, yeah, okay, I talk to you tomorrow. She was very oh, this is interesting. And eventually, I didn't stop. I said, I love you, Mom. And one day she's like, I love you too, Monica, so much. And after that, we had even more talks, and I broke the silence because I started to say I love you to my sister Lucy, and I started to say I love you to my brother Dave. I haven't yet. Maybe a couple of times I've said I love you to my dad because he's not ready for it, nor do I want the disappointment of him to break the habit that I'm making. And that's, again, another episode, but I know you guys get the gist. I broke down the first few that I could. I took my courage, I took it upon myself to break a habit. Break a habit. Because the excuse of saying that you grew up in a home that did not show you love stops. It ends with you. Just because you weren't shown how to give love does not mean that you are not a loved being or worthy of love, to show love, to gather love, to inhale love, to accept love. And that's where self-love comes in. And that's why I'm scrapbooking this picture. And that's why I'm cutting up these papers. And that's why I'm buying albums. And that's why I'm sitting here today on my day off to sit here to spread the message of love. Because I have the excuse. I know how you're feeling. I understand that. And so, no, we break the cycle. We change that. And I'm so happy that I had a chance to teach my mom and show her that it was okay to say, I love you. And ultimately, she learned that whether she said, I love you to me or not, nothing changed. It wasn't a bad thing. It wasn't a sign of weakness. It wasn't something that we were doing that was less of or more of. No, it was just expressing herself. And she started to say it to my kids. And she started to say it to the people around her. And my dad pushed back more on this because he was thinking, how dare you? How dare you embrace love? I'm in control of everything. And I did not introduce love into this household, so I'm going to say that it's not there. It's not there yet. So I write this note for Gabriella, and I do tell my kids that I love them, but not in a fake way. I don't gather my kids and just, whooshy, whoosh, whoosh, I love you all day long. No, it's not like that. It's sincere I love yous. It's I love yous when it's appropriate. But I don't love everything that my kids do. I don't love everything about our lives together, right? Love is sacred. Love doesn't define you. It doesn't make your character better or worse. It's an emotion that we feel, right? So when I'm upset with my kids about something, that something is separate, right? I make sure that they understand that. I make sure that even though they don't make their bed in the morning, or if they forgot to text me after school, I'm angry at the thing that they forgot to do, not the person that they are. Right? Huge difference, because growing up for me, there was no validation. So no matter what I did, I still didn't get loved nor felt love and thought that it was the things I was doing that created the love. But it didn't. It was an emotion that my dad himself suppressed because somebody didn't teach him. And I realize that now. I understand all of that. I understand that he can't tell me that he loves me because he does not know how. And up to a small point, my sister didn't understand why kissing my baby girl on the mouth when I was saying goodbye to her was okay, because she didn't see that. She didn't know how. And so I changed that. It's the choices that we make. It's the choices that you have, regardless of your past. You are in control of that. You can start right now, today. It's going to be awkward. I'm telling you, the first 20 times I said it to my mom, to this day when I say it to my brother, he's still like, okay, I love you. He's that awkward, waddling, penguin type hugger because he doesn't know how. Nobody taught him how. And I walk around like this crazy maniac, as I told you in my previous video, where I'm hugging everyone and telling everyone how amazing they are and how much I love them. At the same time, I'll tell you stuff that I don't like either. I'm very raw and straightforward. There's a 50-50 to that, right? Love also is truth. And truth means that sometimes people do things and they cross your boundaries and you have to say, listen, you're a great person, but I don't like the thing that you're doing. I like you, but the thing you're doing crosses my boundary. That is still an expression of love, just as amazing as kissing someone on the mouth or hugging someone or telling them that you love them. Being honest with someone and putting up your boundaries and saying, I'm okay with this, but I'm not okay with that, has no bearing on how much I love you, though. Powerful, powerful talks, right? I just got back from yoga today, and I hadn't been in a few weeks because I had a cold and all these excuses, and today was freaking amazing, guys. Amazing. And my yoga teacher at the end of the class, she told a story about how she watched Despicable Me 3 with her kids last week, and they're adult kids. And she said she got to the part where, I forgot her name now, but it's the little girl, the one that's obsessed with unicorns and says, Fluffy, you know the one I mean, right? And she, in that Despicable Me 3, was looking for a unicorn, right? And she leaves candies everywhere, and she's just trying her best to lure in this unicorn. And what she lures in is a goat with one horn. And then the dad, Gru, has to find a way to gently tell her, honey, this is not a unicorn. This is a goat. And at the time that he tells her, her face changes. For 1 second, it changes when she realizes that her unicorn is really a one-horned goat. But after that 1 second, she realizes and she says, but he's the best goat ever. Best goat ever. Find beauty in the things around you. Make sure you let the people around you know how much you love them. Show them, show yourself love. Learn today, practice, break the cycle. It's going to be awkward. Yes, it's going to be difficult. You're going to get some people who are going to embrace it and some people who are not. It's not going to be just a simple, seamless transition. There are some things that take a lot of effort, and that's how we make new routines. That's how we break cycles. That's how we introduce self-love, and that's how we change and grow and heal the world. By healing ourselves one self-love practice at a time. I hope your day is full of one-horned goats. I hope that you are beyond inspired, that my words reach out to you as your comments and your words reach right back to me. I am so grateful for each and every one of you. Cut into your paper today. Sit down at your desk and craft. Write your story, tell your story, make time for yourself. You are worth it. I love you. You are loved. You are precious. You are a child of God, and you are made from love. Thank you so much for everything, guys. Be inspired. Take time for this hobby because this hobby heals, and I will see you all very, very soon.